Hello, everyone. It's me. As I sit here watching the numbers dance across my screen in the final month of 2025, I've come to a realization, something no one really teaches us in school, even after more than a decade grinding it out on Wall Street. We talk a lot about stocks, returns, green and red percentages, but have you ever stopped to ask yourself, what actually makes us wealthy? Is it a superstar stock that explodes overnight? Or is it the calm within us when a market storm hits? Today, I want to invite you into my office, not as an analyst clutching spreadsheets, but as an old friend. Together, we'll peel back the layers of this $2.2 million portfolio, the result of a long journey where I learned to embrace not just the highs, but also the quiet moments and the low notes of the market. Have you ever wondered why some people make millions yet lose sleep every night, while others can watch $100,000 temporarily evaporate and still smile, still take a walk with their family? A friend of mine, a veteran fund manager, once told me, in finance, if you can't manage your emotions, money eventually becomes nothing more than a refined form of torture. Here's what I want you to understand. A portfolio isn't just a container for money, it's a map of belief. You might look at the $345,000 plus in profit I made in 2025 and see something shiny. But behind that number are decisions where reason had to defeat instinct. Take the shift I just made from gold into Bitcoin. Gold, the symbol of conservatism, of traditional safety, was at its peak. Bitcoin, meanwhile, was scaring people with waves of deep red. Most investors do the opposite. They chase what's going up and flee what's going down. I chose to rotate. Why? Because in modern finance, we don't buy assets just because they look good. We buy based on relative value. When gold had finished its role as a safe haven, I placed my trust in digital gold at the moment it was wounded. That's not gambling. That's understanding the rhythm of capital flows. Have you noticed how hard we can be on ourselves when we see a temporary loss? I'm down more than $100,000 on my MSTE position. Sounds terrifying, right? Yet I'm still adding $2,500 every single week. Why would I do that? Because I'm not looking at today's price. I'm looking at tomorrow's value. In the US equity world, we call this the art of conviction. If you believe in a business, if you believe in a technology, then drawdowns are gifts the market offers to those with patience. Think of investing like planting a massive tree in the middle of New York City. There will be winters when snow blankets everything, when the tree looks lifeless. The impatient will cut it down for immediate warmth, but the true gardener knows that beneath the snow, the roots are still pushing deeper into the ground. Dividends are the early fruits that tree gives back, helping you live while you wait for spring and growth to return. In my portfolio, more than 70% is allocated to covered call funds like HYLD and HD. These are my non-stop cash machines. Many experts will tell you you're giving up upside for income. And they're right. But what they don't tell you is the peace of mind that comes with monthly cash flow. Whether the market goes up or down, that's the price of freedom. I don't want to be rich just to stare at a screen and worry. I want to be rich so I can turn the screen off and live the life I choose. So let me ask you, honestly, what is your ultimate goal? To beat the market or to beat your own fear? When I talk about tools like Passive or Snowball, I'm not advertising software. I'm sharing a way of life, a life of financial transparency. Transparency creates power. When you know exactly where you stand, the darkness of uncertainty loses its grip. As 2025 comes to a close, a year of volatility, a year of lessons in courage, don't look at my portfolio as something distant or unattainable. Look at it as proof that if you have a plan, if you have discipline, and above all, if you have a calm enough heart, you won't just make money, you'll build a legacy. So brew a cup of tea and sit here with me. Let's go through every number, every ticker together, so you can see that finance isn't dry at all. It's a poem about patience, and tonight I'm honored to read that poem with you. You see, over the past, while we've been talking about million-dollar numbers and eye-catching profits, but I wouldn't be a true friend if I hid my scars from you. So let's look straight at it. MSTE. The screen shows an unrealized loss of more than $100,000. Does that number make your stomach tighten for a moment? $100,000 in many parts of the United States, that's a house, a child's college tuition, the sweat and sacrifice of years of hard work. A few years ago, I probably would have lost sleep over it. But today I want to share with you why I'm able to look at this number with an almost unexpected calm. Have you ever noticed that in life, the things with the greatest power to change your position are often the very things that scare you the most? A friend of mine, a surgeon in Boston, once told me, Adrian, when I operate, if I focus only on the blood, my hands will shake. I have to focus on the end goal, saving the patient's life. Investing is no different. If you focus only on today's red numbers on the screen, your hands will shake, and you'll end up cutting away your own opportunity. I want you to understand this clearly. In the U.S. financial world, we're obsessed with the idea of loss. But in reality, it's often just the price of a ticket to play the future. I'm executing an averaging down strategy. Every single week, I consistently invest another $2,500 into MSTE. Some people say I'm crazy. Others say I'm being stubborn. But here's my perspective, built on real experience. The stock market is a machine that transfers money from the impatient to those who know how to wait. Bitcoin and the companies connected to it are in an extreme phase of compression right now. And you already know the basic law of physics. The greater the compression, the more powerful the release. I call this the silence before dawn. In America, we line up on Black Friday because everything is on sale. So why is it that when the stock market goes on sale, down 20%, 30%, we run away instead of lining up to buy more? That's the paradox of human psychology. I'm not buying MSTE because the price is low. I'm buying because the intrinsic value of the ecosystem it represents hasn't changed. If anything, it's getting stronger every day. And while I wait for that red to turn into a bright green, I have a very effective painkiller: dividends. You see it right there. Even as the capital value of my Bitcoin-related positions declines, they still deposit thousands of dollars into my account every month. That's the beauty of covered call funds. It's like owning a rental property during a housing downturn. Home prices may fall, but the tenants still pay rent every month. That income helps me cover my life expenses, gives me more capital to buy assets at lower prices, and, most importantly, keeps my mind clear. So I want you to ask yourself, am I the master of these numbers, or am I their slave? If a drawdown makes you panic, maybe you've put too many eggs in one basket, or maybe you don't fully understand the child you're raising. In my own portfolio, even though I strongly believe in Bitcoin, I still keep 73% in more stable funds like HYLD and HD. That's what I call a peace of mind strategy. We take risks to grow wealthy, but we diversify so we're never forced out of the game. At the end of the day, investing isn't a 100-meter sprint. It's an obstacle-filled marathon. The steep, muddy stretches are exactly where you separate yourself from the crowd. An old mentor once told me, "The market will do everything it can to throw you off the ship before it reaches the shore of glory." Your job is simple. Buckle your seatbelt and don't look down. So if you're holding a portfolio full of red scars right now, take a deep breath. Don't look at today's losses as failure. Look at them as an investment in your future resilience. Because after the storm, it's not just the sky that clears. The ones who remain standing are the ones who end up owning the horizon. Remember, I'm not standing here to lecture you. I'm standing here to walk through these stormy days with you. Because I know that when we look back at this moment a year from now, we'll smile and feel proud that we didn't give up. My friends, together we've traveled a long road through 2025. Looking back at more than $345,000 in total profit by year-end, or reaching $2.2 million in assets, for many people, that might feel like the destination. But for me, these are just milestones on a road with no final stop. Because real wealth isn't about how much money you have in the bank. It's about how many choices you have in life. I want you to pause for a moment and reflect on this question. Why did you start this investing journey in the first place? Was it to buy a nicer car? Or to prove to someone that you were right? I hope not. An old friend once told me something I've carried with me ever since. Money is a wonderful servant, but a terrible master. If you invest only to watch the numbers go up, you'll always be a slave to them. But if you invest so you can spend a full Wednesday afternoon with your kids or so you can say no to a job you no longer love, that's when you truly win. As we look toward 2026, my goal isn't to double or triple my wealth at any cost. My goal is consistency. I'll continue to nurture my existing positions, continue to trust the cash flow from dividends, and perhaps open up to new opportunities like Ethereum or Hive when the timing is right. I'm not chasing spectacular home runs. I'm building strength through steady, disciplined steps. I want you to understand this clearly. Next year, the market will once again bring surprises. There will be days when headlines are filled with fear and moments when excitement blinds the crowd. But you, the person sitting across from me right now, promise me one thing. Don't let the noise outside drown out the voice within you. Have you ever noticed that the most beautiful moments in life don't cost us a single dollar? A sunset, holding someone's hand, or simply the sense of relief that comes from knowing your family's financial future is protected. That is the true purpose behind all the dry Excel spreadsheets I've just shared with you. Before I close this final video of 2025, I want to offer my deepest thanks to you. Thank you for your trust, for walking alongside me, and for being here through both the green days and the fiery red ones. You are the reason I keep sharing. Keep staying transparent on this journey. Remember, stay passive, stay honorable. Don't worry too much about where you stand on someone else's chart. Focus instead on whether you're becoming better than you were yesterday. 2026 is knocking on the door, and I truly believe it will be a bright chapter for those who are patient and who learn to love the journey itself. I wish you and your family a warm holiday season, a steady mindset, and a new year filled with the dividends of happiness. I'm Adrian, and I'll see you again on the 31st as we begin writing the next chapter together. And for now, turn off the computer and go hold the people you love. Goodbye and good night, America.